Hey, it's the 8. Hey, Megan, why am I wearing this?
Because of the Chicago Cubs?
Cassie?
The curse is broken.
The curse is done.
The 8 is alive.
Hey, welcome back to the 8. The curse has been broken.
That it has.
All right, enough of that. Congratulations to the Chicago Cubs, the only franchise worth talking about here on the 8s, because in 1908 was the last time before 2008 plus 8 they won. See what I did there?
It's the 8.
It's the 8, and there were some 8s. All right, on to our first story, which is the story of the week. Here at the 8. You want to look up? There it is. Ding. Hey, last week, Megan said some naughty words. Hopefully she can get through this week's edition without swearing. You can imagine how bad it was last week, but think you could do it?
Yeah, I'm going to try my...
It happened. There it is. It just happened live on camera. I didn't even have to get this thing going. Wait, you didn't do that on purpose, did you?
No, not at all.
Well, welcome back to the 8. All right, so the first story, the buzz. Cassie, I'm going to go to you with this one. We had a story about what brands can learn from baseball, and one of the things in the story said, and this is out of Adweek, after superstars, a brand also needs specialists that thrive in certain areas, like a pitcher who can close a late inning lead, such as Andrew Miller from the Indians. For brands, a specialist can drive top-notch engagement in creating one particular type of content. So what's interesting here is the article talks about the structure of an organization or a brand or a business and how you want to build it like a baseball team, that you're going to have your superstars, you're going to have your bench players, you're going to have your coaching, you're going to have your fans. When you're talking with brands currently, how valuable is the team as a part of the discussion, the way that they're framing it in franchise sales?
The team is absolutely invaluable. I think that everyone has their strengths, and it really all comes together when you see these teams, like a new member team versus a franchise development team coming together to really work to make sure that they're all working towards the same goals. That's when you're going to see the most success in signing on new leads to become actual franchisees.
Or if you get those who are willing to curse on camera, then that could be a part of the team.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Anything else?
No, I think that's well said.
All right, we'll go on. 7, the brand of the week is Topper's Pizza. A few stories on their page. Topper's Pizza expanding in South Dakota. Opening of their location in Fort Mill, South Carolina. Straight up pricing, which Megan, I want your insight on that. There's a story about Now I'm Pissed, which came from their CEO, Scott Gitrich, which is a great story. And then backed by strong franchise system, Topper's plans to dominate the industry. So a whole bunch of press going on their site, which is topperspizza.1851franchise.com. Megan, some insight on their brand and why you like working with them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to dive into the straight up pricing thing that you refer to.
Go with that first.
Great. Okay. I think that itself speaks to what makes them so great. They have this genuine passion for pizza, and they're trying to kind of take that back in a world where a lot of it has become very homogenous and cookie cutter, and they want to put their unique stamp on it again. And their straight up pricing is kind of their way of doing that by getting rid of those like really like heavy prices on like extra toppings like chicken, pepperoni, and all these things that you shouldn't have to pay extra for. They're just saying, look, we want you to build the pizza that you want without having to be charged extra for it. And I think that says a lot about just their strong belief in treating the customer and giving them what they want. So
I think it's very important from a trend standpoint with the emergence of the fast casual pizza concepts that here comes a delivery brand that says, cool, you guys have this model in your inline units or your dine-in units. Let us do this too. I think it gives the brand and their franchisees something strong to stand on from a marketing standpoint. And just some feedback on why you like or enjoy working with them.
Everyone that I've talked to in the Topper system really lives for Topper's Pizza, and that shines through in everything that they do and everything that they say, and even from the franchisees to their drivers to their managers, everybody just really has a genuine passion for Toppers.
Cassie, you want to show your Toppers tattoo?
I think I'll leave that maybe for another episode of The Eight.
All right, the people story. U.S. election is causing stress levels to skyrocket out of Fox Business. Let's go with you, Cassie, on that. How's your stress level with an election like this? Don't take sides. Just where do you stand on stress?
I think the stakes are very high. The stress is real. I think that now that we're kind of in crunch time here, getting less than a week away with the election, people aren't really sure what's going to happen no matter who wins. There really could be a whole lot of policy shifts happening within the next 3 months even, depending on how the election goes. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of how everyone adapts once we have the results next Tuesday.
Yeah, and for those in franchising, you can see this now. I can sense this in some of the brands that we're talking to about how many leads are turned into deals here at the close of the year. And there is some uncomfortable feelings on the economy, sure, but the election scares people. We're not sure which direction it's going to go, and no matter what, whether your candidate wins or loses, there's still going to be change in place, and change creates fear, and fear creates uncertainty, and uncertainty blended with job security right now, because the economy is good and people have secure jobs, might cause prospects to wait a little bit longer to react. So from a stress standpoint in a work environment, or a stress standpoint in a life component, franchisees are pushing pause, or prospective franchisees are pushing pause a little bit longer than usual. In our profits section, story number 5, despite election chaos, CEOs are keeping their cool. This is from a CNBC survey. So Fox Business talking about stress, CNBC saying CEOs are keeping their cool. What this means is that CEOs out there are like, hey, look, we're going to weather this storm. We've been through many storms before. There's been many elections. There's been many downturns in the economy. Let's stay calm. Let's focus on our growth goals. Let's see how we measure up in the previous year, and let's continue to deliver on excellence. So 2 different stories there, and this is our political issue. So if you go ahead and click on our covers in the hamburger menu, which is up there, or is it up there? You'll find it. You can see our cover this issue, which has Clinton and Trump on it. Places story: Pita Pit opens a location on Butler University. I love this. This means they're focusing on some campus growth. Seems easy. You build a good customer relationship with younger customers, and when they go on and go on to their lives, they have this passion. Megan, we'll go to you on this. You talked about passion with Toppers. Here's another brand where people literally say, "I love Pita Pit." How much enjoyment do you see out of that brand?
I think that they have this unique positioning in that they talk about their food and their lifestyle as being sort of this like fresh, healthier alternative to fast food. And I think that is something that people are really proud to get behind when you're kind of in this area where it's very saturated by greasy, unhealthy options. And to be behind a brand that takes pride in that, I think people take pride in it too.
And they're a brand that's flown somewhat under the radar. They've doubled in size since the economy went south in 2008. They're over 500 units globally. So that's a brand that you should take a look at. Column section, Doug Cashel wrote about the right job description can make or break a job search. Clarity on what you're getting into and clarity into what the job actually entails can excite a candidate if they're on the outside. So that's a good column for you to take a look at. In the media, Franchise Times wrote about fast casual concepts breaking into the United States. We saw this a lot over the last few years, that brands were actually going outside the United States and selling master agreements in major countries. Megan and Cassie have both written about JanPro, for example, that has done a great job at developing master relations in larger countries. There's brands like Gloria Jean's Coffees that is talking about a more of a larger territory AD type model in the United States. But now brands are looking at the United States and saying, hey, it looks like you guys actually have a good culture. Let's break in there now. That could be a symbol or symptom of a positive economy. So that's good that outside brands. That article was in Franchise Times. And then thought of the week, just leads versus deals. our brands are constantly talking about getting more leads. They want more of you to buy into their brands. But the reality is I don't think leads are changing that much. They seem pretty stable. I don't know that you can put more money against something and drive more sales from a franchise sales standpoint. I think it's doing a lot of the little things well. But there will be some shifts. There's going to be shifts in the best practices from a website standpoint as more regulations start focusing on websites, especially from a Fran Dev standpoint. Simplicity is going to rule there, which means there's going to have to be more storytelling outside of your four walls. So favorite story of the week, thought of the week. Who wants to go first? Cassie, favorite story that you wrote this week?
I kind of kicked off the political issue with a feature just kind of mapping out the different issues that are really going to be affecting franchising with the upcoming election. So just to kind of get the rundown, if you haven't been paying attention, now's the time to start paying attention. So that was my favorite piece this week.
Okay, great. And Megan, your favorite piece this week?
I wrote a story on the kind of an update on the NLRB's joint employer ruling and just kind of refreshing our audience, giving them a look at where we've come and kind of what's at stake as we go into the election. So check that out.
Yeah, and if you want a really strong pulse on the franchising buzz, go to ifa.1851franchise.com and you'll be able to get a ton of content there. So in closing, I am going to go ahead and close this out.
Hey, pretty good.
How's that?
That was pretty nice.
You want to tell any goat jokes?
No, and I'm going to not say anything else before I swear again. So
Yeah, you need to shut the... I'm just kidding. That's 8.